Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note: these readings are for your Sun, Moon, and Ascendant sign. Check them all out for all three, so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. The general readings, as you know, use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. So lots of jumping cards there, but these are the two that came up. We'll use both, right? So what's really interesting to me is that the two that kind of came up were the Fool and the World card. This means that this week, in some way, shape, or form, you're having a full circle moment, right? The Fool card is the great beginning, the fresh start. The Fool card is the grand completion, right? So in all of these different areas of life, not only, like, this is going to be a week of two halves, first of all, right? You're going to have a lot of beginnings and a lot of endings over the course of this week, and there's no telling which way it will show up. But what I do feel is it's going to be a week of two halves. Some of it is going to be all about, literally fresh starts, new beginnings. Other parts of it are going to be all about literally completions, right? What this also tells me is that you are ready to embark on a world journey in some way, shape, or form. So for some of you, this could literally be that you're booking a trip, like some form of travel. For others, this means that you could literally be maybe expanding your work or your business horizons in some regard, or even your study horizons in some way, shape, or form. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Ace of Swords. This could potentially be you chasing new contracts, new interactions of some sort. Love this for you. What I will also say with this card as well, the Ace of Swords tends to see you making a finite decision. So, and one of the ways that this might play out, right, is literally you could be presented with something where you're kind of in two minds about it, and then you literally make a decision either never to start this thing or to finish something, right? And so one of the things that one of my greatest mentors ever gave me, she used to say to me, either fix it or forget it, right? That's it. You got one or the other. And this week, it's like in one area of your life, especially around contracts, commitments, people or things that you are or are not tied to, you'll be making some kind of finite choice, some kind of decision that sees you, you know what, yes, now I know where I am, and that's it, it's done. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Lovers card. So lots of decisions to make this week, right? Both of these cards have an element of choice to them. This could be choices around partnerships, connections, collaborations, people that you're going to work with, people that you're going to work alongside. The other thing with your Lovers card as well, it gives you a really strong because this is not necessarily about balance, it's about blending, right? That's the thing about this card. It's about bringing together the two hemispheres of the brain, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, all of that. It's about harmonizing things, but through the verbalization of that. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, you could shock everyone and choose to go in a completely different direction with what you're studying, or maybe even how you're studying it. Like maybe you thought, you know what, yeah, I'm going to go to university, I'm going to do all of the usual traditional stuff, and then actually you find yourself saying, no, you know what, I want to do this in a different way. Maybe you decide to take an online course, maybe you decide to go the self-study route. There's tons of ways this could show up. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this Lovers card, it's almost like you're saying, you know what, I choose more from my career. And maybe your boss comes to you, maybe there's a different position that's available to you, and you say, actually, you know what, I never considered this before, but actually I choose to go in that direction. It could even be that some of you choose to leave the organization that you're in because you feel like you've graduated from that, right? Especially those of you that have been on the fence. If you've been doing this umming and ahhing thing, like this week, you're going to make a finite decision, and once you've made it, you'll stick to it, which is great. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is very interesting to me because the feeling, and this is actually for those of you that are employed as well, the feeling that I get from this is if you're single, there could be some form of a dalliance within the workplace where you find somebody super attractive, but you're like, oh, you know, I don't know if I want to do this because I've got to work with them, and then it could be super awkward and all the rest of it. Well, it looks like one of you is going to be leaving. So you know what? You might as well shoot your damn shot. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, you're choosing a different clientele this week. You're choosing a different clientele, you're choosing a different arena or area to go after, or you're choosing to differentiate yourself within the sector that you're working in anyway. So I love this, right? It's you setting yourself apart in a way. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, there's a lot of focus on the relationship here, right? And if you're single, well, let's have a look. So you've got the Seven of Cups, right? So if you are single and looking, there are options available to you. I will say it's the Seven of Cups. So don't look at the current relationship prospects through old eyes, through the lens of, oh, I dated somebody like that and this is how it turned out. It's almost like you need a fresh slate this week, and you'll be tempted to kind of say, well, you know, my experience has taught me this. This is one of those times where that experience might not actually get you what you want. And may not actually be saving you from the thing that you consider sort of, you know, what's the word? You know, you might think like, oh yeah, well, you know, my wisdom in this arena or whatever is saving me, when actually it's hindering you. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, I'm not going to say that your partner is lying about something, but I am going to say that there is, you know, a lie by omission is still a lie. There's something that you will need to get to the bottom of this week, my dear Taurians. It might just be a little white lie, to be honest, but you are very determined to get information about whatever this thing might be. It's like, I want to know what this looks like, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. So maybe you're seeking the truth in some regard this week. When it comes to your money and materials, you've got the Five of Swords. So not the easiest card, to be fair, when it comes to money. And it might very well be that this is the thing, right? Maybe your partner has withheld some kind of financial information. Maybe some financial information comes to you, and you know, if you're partnered, maybe you say to your partner, look, I want to talk to you about this. You ask them and they flat out lie, and then you hit them with the fact that, you hit them with the facts and the truth to say, well, actually, I already know this. I was just giving you a chance to be honest with me. If you are single, watch out for any financial commitments that you're making this week. All right, there's still a Mercury retrograde shadow in the air. The retrograde is over, but just make sure that you're clear on everything that you're signing. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Five of Swords, this can be your nervous system. And with everything that's going on here, because this is such a profound week of change, and look, this is all air and water. There's no fire, there's barely any earth. It's just all air and water, which means this is a lot of conversations that play on the emotions, or emotions that cause, quite frankly, unproductive conversation. All right. When it comes to your home and environment, the Five of Swords, this might actually be an issue over some form of work that you've already had done on the house. Maybe, you had something. One way that this could show up is, like, let's say you had a lampshade fitted, right? And the lampshade falls out the ceiling. And it's like, hang on a sec, you need to come back and fix that, right? At the end of the day, I paid you for a job, and this is what's happened. So it might not necessarily have to be like a full-on argument. It might be that you have to get someone to redo whatever work it is that you've asked them to do. All right, so all in all, it's going to be an interesting week for sure. Very, very cerebral week for you guys, it looks like. With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.